Oh man. First one. Yeah, I was kind of still getting ready. I thought I was maybe gonna kind of schedule the live and then drop it, but I think I kind of started it and didn't start streaming. Did a little out of order, but that's okay. I think we'll be just fine. Let me check. Yeah, it should be good. So many buttons I can push at once. So we didn't get super far yesterday, but we got somewhere. And let's go. I got some plugs. I got this new bottom plate we're going to put in here. Let me do one thing, actually. Stand by. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Maybe 10 seconds. Maybe more. Do. Yeah. All right, we'll get to building. Forgot to rotate the screen 180. I was gonna do it, but I forgot. And I don't think it's gonna let me do that while I'm streaming. So just have to deal with it another day, I suppose. All right, got a bunch of little plugs. Yeah, it won't let you once you start. That's what I was hinting at there. Yeah, it won't let you. It won't let you when you're streaming. You can't rotate it. That's the issue. So without starting and stopping it and doing all those things again, we'll just deal with it again today. So maybe you'll just have to stand on your head, I suppose. Maybe that works. Stand on my head. Okay. Let's see. Trying to figure out where all this goes. You wonder how long it takes these guys to build these all day to do them. They can just knock them out. Let's see. So I think we did good there. Okay. Next. Okay. Yeah. Trying to get all of them here. Kind of figured out. Those grommets are just going in the sheet metal. Nothing too exciting. It's obviously probably to protect some wires. All right. Carefully insert the power supply unit. And I see. Got some little hooks right here to kind of run everything down, slotted, and then probably tighten it down, I assume. Yep. So the holes. Okay. Yep. And we're going to tighten these screws up. Clean the desk up a little bit from yesterday. Not anything too fancy, but did clean up some. Excited to see how this thing prints. Whoops. Man down. All right. Feels pretty good and snug. Kind of cleared my desk a little bit here, so we got a little more room for activities, as it were. All right. Now we're to the buddy box. So break out this guy again. And where does it go? Oh, we've got a similar thing. These, are these the right screws? I guess they're different screws, which kind of throws me off. But hey, if they fit, they fit. That's the plan anyway, right? Yeah, I'll get that flipped around tomorrow. I thought of it right as I started everything, and I don't know. They don't want you messing with it, I guess, once it's going. So I know we worked all day on our NAS build, our network attached storage, and we made pretty good progress, I think. I don't think we did too bad. We always get stuck at trying to get credentials, so I think actually that might be on my end. I think actually our we're fighting the login, and I think the Windows login is actually okay. I think we just need to, the settings are on the workstation side, but yeah, spent a bunch of today doing that and kind of working in the shop, trying to get some other stuff ready. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Maybe's right. So I'm just gonna finish securing this. Gotta get the right tool for the job here. It's definitely not it. Get the rest of this buddy box, also known as the main PCB, kind of secured, nailed down here. Cool. I think we're doing pretty good, actually. Why does that feel so loose? Okay. Next. The one thing I should do, I should put these instructions up. That'd be kind of cool. Have the instructions shared on the screen too. Maybe I'll do that later here. I don't know if it would be a good visual aid or not. If anybody really wants to see that. All right, printed parts package. We need a bunch of stuff here. Terminal screws. Okay. Power supply cover. Printed parts package. Holy cow, printed parts package. That's a crazy one. Printed parts package. Say that 3 times fast. All right. Here we go. So a little, they call this a power supply cover terminal, something. Yeah, power cable cover. All right, we need that. We need 4 power terminal screws. Those should be easier to find than not. I wonder. It doesn't tell me which of the bags it's in, so. Yeah, 632. It's kind of a go fish thing again. Power terminal screws. Hey, what do you know? Right where we left them. All right. So we need 4 of those. Just rip. Oop, there's one. Okay. Find it hard not to talk to myself during these builds sometimes. Let's see. M3SN. Got a bunch of printers going in the background, printing kind of a variety of stuff today, I guess. Some displays for products, kind of prototypes for some hair products, and printing some Gatling parts, which is going to be a cool build we'll talk about later. It's always going to be the last one, isn't it? M3 and S. M3 and S. There we go. Found those parts. We need 2 of these guys. This is really the time-consuming part, just trying to fish out all this stuff. Okay. And what else do we need? M310RT. What do you think? So close, but so far away. Man. Find one that's just like barely off. There we go. All right, and we need 2 of these. Just broke my own rule and I ripped the wrong corner, so I can't read the names on that bag. Okay, 2 of those. All right. Just trying to look at the difference here. Let's start connecting some of the power supply stuff. Okay. Looks like we're going to run these down here. And make sure we got red and red and black and black. Start connecting some of the power. Red and red. There we go. Red, black. Black and yellow, black and yellow. Gonna give me that copyright band up in here. Black and yellow, black and yellow. Okay. To try to keep the wires pretty nice, you know, pretty straight. There we go. And one more red. Gonna run them under here. Okay, gets us our power in. And then I think our last ground, we have this contact, I think grounding contact pad on the buddy board here in the corner, which is I bet where that goes eventually. But, oops, I screwed that up. This extra red cord we had from our little bridge umbilical cord from the buddy expansion board or whatever it's called to the main kind of buddy board here had a power wire that needs to also be terminated in this last one. There we go. Cool. Let's see what else. I was wrong about that ground cable. It goes, I guess, just right next to this one. It's not really a ground cable. It would be a negative cable. But that's our story and we'll stick to it. Okay. And gonna run this from the power supply. It's kind of a crazy wild way to run that. But what do I know? I just work here. All right, so they like really ball this up, stuff it in here, and then plug it in there. Seems kind of wild. Seems way too long. Probably for manufacturing, they probably use the same cable on multiple machines. So they make it one length and, you know, tell you to tuck it up in there and deal with it, I guess. Black and yellow. Something wrong. That boy ain't right. Okay, what's this? with the panic cable. Let's see, I think we're doing pretty good. Got most of the cabling routed the best we can, at least till it's zip tied down and secured. Kind of going to float around. All right. Prusa likes to use these little nuts that slide into the printed parts. Kind of nice, kind of a pain in the butt, honestly, but they do their job. The hard part is sometimes they'll get pushed in a place where they're, get a little too far or something like that, and they can be tricky to retrieve. Sometimes the design allows for you to be able to push it back out, and sometimes it really doesn't. But anyway, here we are. Cool. All right, let's see. Got a little 3D printed part now we're going to use to basically tuck the wires in, I believe. Yeah. Not quite sure I'm understanding what's going on here, but see one of them. Okay, I guess that's okay. Seemed a little wild and crazy, but I guess we got it. Let's see. Oh, man down. Let's see. Can't be those short screws, can it? Yep, I guess we are using the long screws. The one I just dropped down there. All right, getting this hammered in here. Retrieve one lost screw. Got it. One casualty here. Doing pretty good. What I thought, man, that didn't really. I also just realized I'm using the wrong tool, which is nice. Funny enough, it worked, but this side really didn't catch anything. Excuse me. I'm not sure about that. Let's see what I did wrong here. Yep. User error. At least on my part here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it was terrible. Put the screws on the wrong holes. So, we will quickly remedy that. One second here, I'm trying to work through this. Yep, wrong one. I guess what confused me is I don't know that these screw holes are going. You put in some nuts and then put some nuts into the threaded printed part, and then the ones you actually run the screws to are not through the printed part, or not through where you just put the nuts in. But like I said, who am I to question the little elves at Prusa doing all the magic? Okay, that should be right. Let's see. Yeah, nope. Cool. All right, back to more. Let's see. Fan and grid electronic chamber parts. Chamber, electronic chamber. Okay. So that's nice. Hopefully this part hunt will go faster. They're all in one area. So it's a printed part, not non-printed part actually. Non-printed parts. Okay, so we're grabbing the fan grid, the chamber thermistor, which apparently is in here also. It's definitely not that. It's definitely not that. These are fans. They are fans. Well now. Not in there where it's supposed to be. So I either took it out or we did something else. But I bet I can find it quickly. Aha, found it. Okay. Got that, we got that. Ooh, and we need only fans. Only fans. Only fans. We got 2 only fans. We got zip tie, and we need M3x30. Screws, of course, lots of screws. Screws and only fans. M3x30. Sounds like it goes together, I guess. Bad joke, bad joke. M3 by 30. I feel like you know, like if there's like M3 by 25, the M3 by 30 should also be in the same bag, which in this case it is, but I'm just saying, not for nothing. These bags do on the outside too have what's inside of them, so there's kind of a quick reference without digging through every bag, but as you go, you know, you tend to not always get them back where they belong. So once I open them, I usually set them off to the side, you know, because otherwise you put them back in the bags and then they're rolling around. So you kind of have to have a rolling memory of what you've already opened, so you're not going fishing here. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. I have to get a little magnetic tray out here in a minute so I can wrangle this stuff around where it goes. So we need this, so we need this. Okay. Let's see. Top down. All right. So this looks complicated. Let's see. So we're going to take this thermistor and we're going to weave it through somewhere, these little holes. So we're going to go up, down, and back up, like so. It's kind of wild and crazy. Blurry, wild and crazy. Let's see. It's about as good as we're going to do, I think. Something like that. There you go. It's kind of a little, you know, weave it through the grill. Okay, and then on the back side, looks like we run our handy dandy zip tie through the back of it. Wouldn't you know it? Kind of just going to secure this thermistor to this fan grill. Maybe. Okay. Try to get it nice and tidy here if we can. We don't like the chop shop look. Oh, they break it. That's nice. Broke that in half. I don't feel like I really torqued on that much, but looks like we'll be 3D printing one of those. Set that off to the side, pretend that didn't happen. Oh boy. Gonna skip that step. So what is that thing called? Fan grid. Hopefully they have a 3D printed one of those because it wasn't 3D printed. All right. So we're gonna flip this guy over now. Hopefully that doesn't screw up our steps too bad, but I don't think it really will. I'm sure it can be remedied. All right. Especially I'm hoping that gets screwed onto the outside and the back. So we've got our fans, and that's all it's going to do is, I think, be a guard for these fans, and then of course there's some feedback to the buddy board with that too, so we'll have to make sure we at least get that hooked up correctly. So it looks like that one goes like that, and that one goes like that. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Okay, well, it wants us to put those screws in, so what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and put these in for now, secure the fans, and then tonight I will print a new guard, hopefully. Yeah, I don't feel like I put undue pressure on that, honestly. I was trying to pull that zip tie tight, but I don't feel like I was very aggressive about it. It was being pretty fragile, so it kind of surprised me. Felt like it's like took a hammer to it, but I didn't. Just trying to get these 4 screws put in the fans. That way we can at least get them finger tight, and I can come back later and adjust the issue there. You like that, huh? Snap like a cracker, man. It's like, what? Maybe we can find online. I'm sure they're out there. That, or I'm the first guy that broke one, you know? Maybe I'll be famous. You never know. All right, so let's see. There's a lot of, do not over tighten the screws to avoid damaging the grid. I mean, I could like see that being more of a natural human error than what I did. All right. Rear profile. Nylon rivets. Holy cow, let's find this profile first. These parts kind of drive me a little crazy because they all kind of look the same. They are different, but there's a lot of them. I'm trying not to get the wrong ones. I have to like take half this thing apart. All right, let's see. Those look like winners. Yeah. Okay. I think those are it. Javi likes that. He likes when I break stuff. Nylon rivet. Likes when I bust it up. Not that one. I think bamboo, as far as Prusa and bamboo becoming, you know, leaders, I think, yeah, you know, I think bamboo's got a pretty good run on it. There's obviously some resistance to that, you know, kind of get what you pay for. Purses, I mean, to be honest, it's not like Pursa's any cheaper, so, I don't know. They've leaned a little harder into the, a little bit different, I think, focus as far as people. You know, I mean, honestly, most of the big production stuff you see since bamboo became more prevalent, at least with the X1 Carbon series, you know, most people that are trying to make a living or manufacture something, I mean, there's a wide variety of printers, including Prusa. But yeah, more or less, I think what I see is bamboo out there, so. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad move for bamboo, right? Just take out the competition. Just take them out, take them down. So, I don't know. The reason I bought this was well, I like to experience everything, but on the flip side too, I want to see how it compares. I mean, you can read stuff and reviews all day long, but people print different things, they have different levels of experience, and I think ultimately, I don't know where that part went. Ultimately, trying it for yourself is going to be the best. What might work well for somebody might not work good for somebody else. Not so much the printer, but just, habits. So, I don't use these as often as stuff, and there's reasons for that, right? They're slower and less user-friendly. I don't get, have to have external time-lapse stuff, all that. Maybe not now with this Core One, and I got the camera add-on. But, even with the XL, the MK4, those are two pretty recent builds I did in the last couple of years. And I know they've rolled out some updates and things with those, the multi-tool heads. But I don't know. I just didn't have a good enough experience with those. They're great for what they are. Like I said, I use them for detail work, but they're not they weren't impactful enough in my workflow to make me want to run out and buy, 3 or 4 of them, So M34RT. That's one we opened already. Somebody's got to be keeping track of this other than me. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. What makes this build difficult is there's progress seems slow because there's always so many pieces. Let's see. Self-tapping screw, electronics and fasteners package. Holy moly. Let's see. I don't think I have that out already. It's kind of a random one. So that's just electronics. Let me go hunting here real quick. Extruder. Yeah, I better not pull that out yet. I'll make a mess. Printed parts. Hunting for a self-tapping screw. Stand by. I really don't think it's... It's got the wildest names on it, man. Oh yeah, here it is. They don't call it a self-tapping screw, that's why. It's in here somewhere. That looks about right. Yep, 5ST. How did I first hear about bamboo? I don't really know. Probably you. That or, the first 2 times you come across something you really don't like, you might check it out, hey, check it out, and you take a look and it's cool, but you kind of dismiss it, right? And then maybe you see it a couple more times on social media, and then you start to kind of it plants a seed, right? The marketing, they do a good job. It plants a seed of hey, what's out there? And you start to compare oh, hey, how does this bamboo look on social media compared to, you know, my Ender 3 that I'm like, got the piece of paper and I'm leveling the bed and all those things, right? So I think then all of a sudden you feel like, you know, like you're missing out, you can be more productive, whatever. So then you actually start like researching and like really trying to explore what the market has. It's kind of how I think it happened for me. So I feel like originally you said something about it, and then it's like saw it on social media. Maybe we talked about it again a few months later. Over time, I saw it a few more times on social media. Finally, a post caught my attention, and I'm like, then we maybe had a real conversation about, you know, getting one or the capabilities, or hey, is it worth it? You know, because I mean, we went from $300 Ender printers or maybe $500. You know, I had a couple of big, the Neo Max or whatever it was. Doing from a few of the bigger ones. We added some spider hot ends, some of this crazy stuff, you know, and it was cool and it was working. We were upgrading it and we're getting better, learning more. But then at the end of the day, it's like, dude, you get a bamboo, you're like, ooh, you know, nothing against those other guys, but I'm just saying, not for nothing, right? So I'm going to, don't really know what the next step is here, but I'm going to take this big guy and I'm going to set it on the table back here just to create a little bit of space. I have a big desk here, but there's a lot of black parts and I got a lot of crap, for lack of better words, on the table right now because you just need a lot of space. I mean, as much as I try to stay organized, you know, it's about impossible because it's like you need screws and parts from like all these different boxes and bags. So do you miss using a piece of paper to level the bed? Yeah, a lot of black. I wouldn't say I miss the paper to level the bed. I did it so much. I used to have them on the floor, you know, all the 10 Crealities or whatever Enders on the floor. And a lot of it used to be, well, I didn't have the shelving, and also I guess my logic was they were stable on the floor. You know, you're going to get less shaking and feedback from each other, and it just seemed like the best center of gravity, right? So pretty much had them all there, and then, you know, I would get to where I could level them with a piece of paper, you know, pretty quickly. Like, you know, you do it enough, then you do it with your eyes closed or literally in the dark. You get in the middle of the night, change the print, and be like, oh yeah, that's good, you know. But yeah, I don't miss that for sure. I think there's bigger and better things to, you know, focus on. Definitely. There's other things I can learn that are, I think, provide more value. To what I'm doing, so. The worst part about this, having some lighting for the camera, is trying to, like, everything's black, right? That's not the right tool at all. Everything's black, so it's like, the desk is black, my shirt's black, the tool's black, the printer's black, and then you got a light shining right in your face, you know, on top of it. It's kind of funny. Totally doable, but I'm just saying. Might need to rework my lighting a little bit, at least for my own personal benefit. Might speed up assembly here if I can actually see what I'm doing. And grab the right tools and such. Let's see. It's coming together a little bit more. Got a little bit more of a frame look to it. Come on. Come on, girl. Get in there. I don't like how that feels. Guess it's okay. Sometimes they feel like they're starting to cross thread and you're like, is it just paint or powder coating or a little bit of like burr, or is it, you know, that put it in sideways? Yeah, good memories for sure. Let's see. Doing pretty good here. What do you think? I don't think we've screwed it up here for a second. Haven't busted anything. I don't know, that was kind of crazy. Holy cow. It's raining screws. Finding it's easiest to just kind of come back and actually snug everything down, but not up front. Man, these line up, but they're like, tolerance is kind of tight. I almost think I need to loosen that one a little bit. There we go. That is not straight at all. I'm gonna back that out. It's kind of just the sheet metal. Just doesn't want to quite line up correctly. All right. Yeah, good. All right, what are we using for this? Those cheesy rivets. Cheesy rivets. Okay, here we go. We'll do that one. Get rid of that guy for a second. Come back here and give you a cool view how the sausage is made and whatnot. I think I got it right. Let's be a little bit taller. Let's see. Make sure I know what I'm doing here. Okay. Leave the second ones down. So we're using these little plastic rivets, which is like kind of wild because this piece isn't exactly light. But again, what do I know? Okay. Only broke one plastic piece today, so. All right. So I did 2, 3. Starting to look more like a printer, huh? Like we made instant gratification here. I got a little bit of fast forward progress. Let's see. Okay. will say these are working. They're slick because you can just pop them in. Kind of a funky little plastic rivet. Let's see if I can. Real just kind of funky little shape rivet. Well, that's a little blurry, but we'll remedy that here in a few days. We're working on getting a little better every day. Oh, so one new change I have today, aside from I was supposed to flip the top-down view, is our videos, when they process, are in standard definition because I needed to change some settings. And so now this video and moving forward will have standard definition and high definition, or higher definition, at least for YouTube once it processes. So trying to get a little bit better every time. Cool. Well, we got that put together. Not much to show you from a top-down view, or I would. Let's see what else we got next. All right. The stepper splitter. Stepper splitter. Yeah, it's coming along. Starting to look like something anyway, huh? Even if it's wrong. It's at least something now. Something. Okay, stepper splitter. And another crazy cable. Where did that go? What did you guys do with it? Somebody moved it. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I definitely didn't do it. Let's see. This might be it. Yeah, it's coming along. So it's kind of nice to get something going because it feels like there's so many parts left, and I spent all this time and there's like not much, not much here. So, excuse me. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna start gutting the bottom now. All right, let's see. Kind of already threw all this stuff away. It's kind of clever. It wants me to use a piece of foam from the packing, but I had to dig myself out of the hole earlier, so I think I can still find one piece like it wants. All right, so I'm gonna use this piece of foam, and we're gonna do the full recliner version here. That's the plan anyway. Don't quite know how I'm gonna do this on the camera, but we'll figure it out. Let's see. Yeah, should be all right. Gonna have to do something a little more like that probably. Kind of dark, isn't it? Kind of dark. Hold on, I'll figure something out. Don't tell Javi, it probably won't be cinematic or acceptable practiced stuff, but I can probably do something here. Really screw with the lighting. Let's see. I'm going to start poking buttons. It's going to be epic. Why not? I like it. I'm going to do one more thing actually, just to really mess with the lighting. Yeah, there we go. It didn't throw off my white balance, so why not? Still at 1.3 Javi, so you can't yell at me. Who knows what the top camera is, but we won't worry about that. Yeah, it's good enough. All right. So, see if I can work upside down. How complicated this will be. What are we doing? Zip ties? Holy moly. Yeah, I'm gonna move it a little bit more over. I have to be able to hang out with you guys too. All right. So the bottom motor, okay, this looks kind of not super straightforward. Okay, so this cable is going to come up through those zip ties we messed with earlier that are loosely put together. So that's going to go that way, I think like that, and hang down. And this one is going to follow a similar route, but we're going to go top down on this one. Since it's not connected to anything. Something like that, kind of. Kind of fancy, I know. Pretty fancy. Okay. Here it gets fancy. So we have this little, I'll do this little board that we're going to put in. It's going to be kind of a hub for all of our stepper motors to come together. And then whatever this, I guess it's a splitter cable is what it is. Let's see. So this goes like this. Pink, pink, so Z's. Well, they're all Z's. But the left ones, let's see. Where does this guy go? Nowhere. Okay, so Z left, Z left. So this is a Z left. It's got a Z and an L band on it, which I know you can't see, but trust me, it's there. All right, so this one's gonna go there. And then we have another Z left floating around here, which is this one. That's gonna come over here. Yep, looking good, looking good. And then our splitter cable, which is this funky colored one. It's gonna go on the top. And our Z right, I think they call it, or something like that. Yeah, Z right. So you got two lefts and a right, just like in real life, I guess. So that goes like that. So it kind of attaches our 3Z axis and the splitter. Splitter cable. Cool. I mean, I think that one good. We at least look like we know what we're doing. Okay, got these two guys. Okay. So then we take this, and we flip it upside down, and we use the holes in the PCB to go into these little rivets. Which makes me nervous. I'm afraid I'm gonna bust something. Is that it? I don't know if I like that feeling. So, according to the official instructions, it is necessary to apply significant pressure to seat the part in, yet be very careful not to damage the components. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're still at 1.3 Javi, so, you know. Significant pressure, but don't damage it. I don't like that. Sounds crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Whoo! I don't know if you guys are sweating. I was. Well, late. What do you mean, well late? It is 1.3, man. I got 1.3 up in here. Our white balance. Let's see. All right. Okay. LCD cable. Cool. LCD cable. And main FE cable. I do like that we're limiting packages. Feels better than anything. It's almost stressful putting a Prusa together. There's so many parts, although well labeled, as I've repeated 100 times, but it feels nice like as you start to just get clear stuff out. It feels a lot better. All right. This is main FE cable. Okay. I got it. I got it. Oh, yeah. I know. It literally says that. It's like, you have to put significant pressure on it. But, you know, don't break it. Like, okay. Like I did the fan guard. You know. The heck, man. What kind of daisy chain thing is this? You guys see this stuff? Whoa. Wild. Wild. Okay, there we go. That is the one we want. I'm gonna bag and tag the rest of these for later. Yeah, I know, yeah, it contradicts itself, huh? Use a hammer, but don't break it. Okay. What is all this? Guide. Okay. So the other end of our splitter cables going up and in through the hole. Yep. Okay, got it. QR code. Put our LCD part up in here now. And looks like we're going to run the rest of it up the side for our zip ties. Okay. And then it's going to come out through, I think, what is going to be the LCD hole here at the top. There we go. Not too shabby. The connectors are numbered. What? Oh, I got it. I have to figure it out for myself. Okay, we got two close together, and then the long one. So this one is 1. 2, 3. Okay, so this is going on our ground, the bottom of the case. And it actually is the ground this time, not the, I don't know why I called the negative the ground earlier. Holy cow, these fit tight. Let's see. I'm gonna come in front of the camera, whether you like it or not, for a second, because it ain't gonna work either. Need to get a little different angle on this guy. Right-handed, so I need my right-handedness here for a second. Be able to get a little extra pressure on it just right. Hopefully without breaking it. Man, I want it to fit tight, but you know, there we go. Maybe. Nope, definitely didn't get it. Man, it's on there, but I wouldn't say it's on there all the way. All right, we got it. Good enough, good enough. All right, so I'll let you look again. Okay, so this is basically a grounding cable that's probably going to be distributed all throughout the whole case here. Okay, number 2 goes through the hole, and that is going to go to that part of the circuit board that I said was the ground, even though I had the other black wire that was clearly not the ground coming from the power supply, because it would never be. Not in that regard anyway. All right, 2, and then 1. Okay. So then the rest of this is gonna just run up the zip ties on this side. Like that. Four and 5, which are not pinched on the bottom, are going to go through there and there. Okay. Cool. It's like we knew what we were doing. Look at that. Okay, so now it wants me to tighten the zip ties. Maybe. Gotta kind of fish them through the sheet metal, which is a little tricky at times here. Gonna get those closed, but I'm not gonna get them very tight because I might want to adjust something later. Not that it's the end of the world. I got more zip ties, but just want to make sure I have enough slack to kind of do what I need to do here. So which I think so far I do. Okay. Yeah, let's go. I'm happy with that. All right. Now, let's see. Put this back up. Try not to squish any wires for a lot of reasons. There you go. Save our handy dandy foam, just in case. All right, M3W, M36. M3W washer. M36 screw. They used to have, if I remember right, Prusa was all, they had more Ziplocs, which were nice because then you could reseal them and put them back in the bags, the bigger bags that were labeled that kind of told you what all the smaller bags were. But now we have these ones we rip open with our teeth, but we don't eat because they're not gummy bears. And, you know, can't really put them back in the bag. Everything falls apart. Yeah, it's coming along for sure. Starting to take shape. M36. That must be one we already have open. I don't see it where it should be. It isn't saying much. Yep, it is. They're spilling all over the place. I definitely didn't do it. After this, I'm going to run off screen for 2 seconds. Okay. So, now we have our, how does this go together? I'm going to put our actual grounding strap in now that I was so excited to do earlier that wasn't correct. And that does not look like, honestly, let's see. I feel like it could be routed differently. Let me see if I did that wrong. I know one thing I did wrong. That's hilarious. I just realized it. I have the, I have this one piece on the back backwards. So that's going to be fun. Gotta flip that guy around. But I will be right back. All right. Starting to take shape, but the wrong shape. That's funny. A little Red Bull will help that. All right. So, the reason this part wasn't making as much sense is because I have it backwards, which isn't a big deal. Not a big deal. Oh, excuse me. Just testing you guys. Nobody noticed. Holy cow, sorry. Cough up a lung here. Yeah, I put the whole back on wrong. Again, not really an issue. Thanks to all these cheap plastic rivets I was just complaining about. Now, watch this. I bet this makes a lot more sense. Because I was wondering why these cables weren't really routed the right way. Well, that's because the back was on wrong. I was like, that's a little bit off there. Give me a second. It's going to be a little bit more challenging now to do it the wrong way in reverse. But it won't be a big deal. Hopefully nobody was building along at home. Be like, oh my. Okay, there you go. He was trying to think a little bit backwards doing this in the camera, or for the camera. Looking at the instructions, trying to orient myself, and got a little distracted by breaking that, because it was right after I broke that Vanguard, so we'll blame it on that, I suppose. Okay. Close, close. To try to get these through here without squishing all the wires. I got most of them going there. Let's see. That one. That one's good. Is it good? And pretty close. There. That's what it's supposed to look like. But you already knew that, didn't you? Let's see. Well, the only issue is a couple of these I broke, taken out, which isn't the end of the world. Didn't really break them, but they come apart in weird ways. Let's see. Let me try. got just getting squared away here. Trying to make sure all my cables are put together now in the correct way. I still got one. What do I got going on here? There we go. We're working through it. We're working through it. The noob move. Noob move. Kind of a little more challenging to get kind of popped in here the second time. But we're getting it done. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this compares to the other printers. Mostly for, you know, Prusa directly. Just about done. Just about back to where we're supposed to be here. There we go. Just working here in the dark. There we go. Couple more here. Got about 2 more. Should be done. Cool. I think we're back. We're back. Cool. Feel good about that. I'm going to double check. I didn't get any of my cables pinched in that change around here. Yeah, I think we did pretty good for salvaging that problem. All right. Cool. Now it'll make more sense. We'll go back to putting in this grounding screw. Went to put that in and I was like, this is not the outside of the printer. So we had to adjust. Now it will make much more sense, I think. Let's see. Rework this routing a little bit. No. Think about this. Don't really like the tension on that grounding screw, so I'm going to see if I can kind of move it around here a little bit. Get us a little more slack somehow. I think our cable's kind of tied up. Stand by. Let's see. I think what I got one wire kind of pinched a little bit here. I think I do. Just kind of part of our loop. Let's see. I think I do. Just a little bit. Not really even pinched, but I can't quite get it out of the way of where it needs to be. Let's see. Almost there, almost there. That goes up, goes down. I figured it out. There we go. Good as new. Glad I stopped. It had kind of a cable was pinched basically, not really very tightly or anything. It was just kind of stuffed in the corner where it didn't belong and wasn't giving us enough slack for this ground wire to come through. There we go. The wire oriented just right. Throw a tool at somebody. There we go. Woo! I definitely made that harder than it should have been. We'll own that one. All right, what do we got now? Now it's starting to take shape. Favorite kind of filament. What is my favorite kind of filament? Another good question. You know, PLA, you know, is of course nice to print with. Everybody, I think, will agree with that. I've kind of struggled more through some of the other types of filaments. And as long as you have, like, I think an enclosure or a chamber of some sort for your printer, I actually prefer more functional stuff. You know, PLA's prints like butter and it's kind of easier on that side, but I don't like it as much because most of my things are functional. So, you know, whether it's a functional prototype or something I want to mess with. And so with that in mind, you know, it just, whether you got WD-40 on your hands or glue or, you know, you leave it on the seat of your car, which I've literally had happen to the farm bot stuff I was doing when I was moving. And literally left the window down so it wouldn't get too warm in there. You know, it was only in there a little while, it was in the shade. But PLA just warps really bad as far as the functional part. Not when you print it, but, you know. So because of that, I prefer PETG or ABS. And it's kind of the thing I like most, I guess. Holy cow, let's see. Looking at new wires we got to run here. Gonna run all right. So now that we got things back to where they belong, we're gonna run this up and around. Let me look at one thing here. I don't think we've closed our zip ties yet, which the last one had me do, so I was just trying to double check. Okay, so we're running our splitter cable up here. This is for the stepper motors. So we're gonna run that up there. Goes to the second one. Yep, looks good. And we're also gonna run one of our ground wires. Let's see, FE cable. Yeah. Then this cable that I got unpinched finally, it's gonna run up here and out of our buddy box. Let's see. Trying to keep this LCD cable untangled the best I can here. Okay, and that comes up here like that. Yeah, I'd love to manufacture products at home. Definitely manufacture. We do on some scale already. The 3D Flight Lab and displays and other parts to an extent. Any 3D printed facing products. Okay. We are kind of back to routing this. And yeah, let's see. Ugh. Don't really like how that goes in there, but we'll make it happen. Kind of a funny little connector, really. Yep. Just making sure that was right. Didn't really. Guess it seated all the way. It just kind of felt kind of like it wasn't, but I think we're okay. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and do the zip ties, I think. Trying to make sure I routed all these cables correctly. You never know, they have you do the zip ties and then it's like, add this or do this. They're pretty good at their process, but as you've seen, I try to leave myself some room for error, just in case I do something that's not correct. I can correct it. Give myself a little bit of wiggle room. Okay. And get our buddy box kind of buttoned up here. Do not over tighten the zip ties. Yeah, we know. And it only said to do the bottom zip tie, which I did the top two. So we'll pretend that never happened. Back to 3D printed parts box. And looking for the power supply cover. I think is a bigger piece here. Ta-da! Okay, and 2 and 3x10 screws. And 3x10. Which may already be out here. What's this? 3x12. 3 and 3x10 RT. Got him. Got a couple more steps. So I'll probably take another break and then kind of come back and hit it again. 3x10. Just try to stream this whole build the best I can. Nothing else you can learn what not to do. All right. Yeah, because I got to charge a few things and do a few things. Okay, what do we need here? Okay. And is there a screw? Oh, duh. M3x10. Not quite sure. I need to move this around a little bit here for a second. Okay, there's a screw in there. We're putting a grounding screw on the power supply. So, for what it's worth, wrong tool again. Get the Phillips. These tools are provided, so they're perfectly acceptable. They're pretty decent tools. It's not really an issue, but you get to grabbing stuff and they kind of all look the same, even though they're different colored handles and everything. It starts to feel the same. All right, let's see. Gonna route this ground cable down and around. There we go, just about. It's got a little bit of magnetic stick to it, so that's good. It's just kind of a tight space for sure. All right. Okay, good and snug. Oh my gosh, we lost a foot. Just like those Lego stickers, man, I'm telling you. Believe that? What do you think? Was that user error? Or was that a me thing? Who knows? All right. We'll see if it retains its sticky. All right, and yeah, this is actually our last step for the night, I think, which is just to put this little cover on, see if I can do that without screwing that up. We'll go to that, spin it around. But yeah, we're just doing this little 3D printed Prusa cover. It's gonna tuck us in for the night. Gonna spin it around and see if I can get these screws to take where they're supposed to go. Maybe. Feels like it's working. At least on one side. The 3D object that stuck with me the most. What did I print that stuck with me the most? That's a good question. I don't really know. I have to think about that, actually. I like our gyroscope. I did the electric watermelon, the 3D Flight Lab. That one's cool because it glowed in the dark. But I don't know, I think back to the shark case and stuff. Some of the other stuff that we made, some of the phone cases and stuff, they were pretty, pretty challenging or pretty big. I did one of the airless basketballs. That was pretty interesting. That was a multi-day print. Still not convinced that's in there. Yeah, the 3D basketball, or airless basketball rather, that was a multi-day print, so that was kind of cool. Turned out pretty good. I annealed that, which is where you pack it with sand and bring it back up to temperature so it doesn't deform. And it turned out pretty good. So still not broke, still gets bounced around. And I went to the Drone Expo a couple years ago. There's some companies there that had some of the airless basketballs and had made them with different, these are kind of a swatch ring. But this is a little bit more of a, commercial printers and materials, a lot of nylons, aluminum, kind of hybrid pieces and things, and carbon things. And I mean, I know their basketball, broke. So it's kind of cool. I mean, people get kind of froggy, but anyway, should be good. But yeah, we made a little progress today. Went, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But we got some stuff going on here. And kind of chewing up my desk a little bit, but it's what it is. So yeah, got the panel finally on right. Got a lot of electronics done. So tomorrow looks like, assuming tomorrow, the next spot is going to be the heated bed assembly. So, you know, that won't be too bad. And then we just have the XY. So a lot of heated core, XY, and then next extruder. And the rest is just kind of like button it up. So I'll probably try to do most of this on camera just because we've already suffered this far. Do it live. I may prep a few pieces to save some time, but I'll probably just wait. Got a lot of other stuff going on. Can I show you the basketball? I can. We could do show and tell, but the airless basketball isn't handy. It's not in here at the moment, so, but I can try to remember it for tomorrow and get that rocking and rolling. But if you look carefully, there is something you're missing, which is there's a hint at a live for when we're done with this. Somewhere on camera, there's little breadcrumbs of what we're gonna do next. But I gotta finish this, which is probably a part 3 or 4 away. So probably halfway there at this rate. But yeah, we'll have to hit it hard, you know. Maybe we pull a long one tomorrow. But if you look closely, I'm telling you, there's something like a Where's Waldo thing here. Yeah, now maybe you see it. No, it's a little blurry, but that's by design. So, yeah. I know just because I look like Santa. I'm not that jolly, but might have some fun stuff to do here. So, if that helps motivate you to hang out with me to power through this, yeah, there you go. He saw it. I staged the boxes a certain way. I was wondering if you're going to see it. You made me wait till the end to actually tell you. I figured usually you see that right away. So anyway, we have some Formlabs stuff. That's all I'm going to say for now. There's, if you look, it's not one thing. It's a bunch of things. So we're representing back there, and we're going to do some stuff. I will say this will be Formlabs I have no experience with. Obviously, the reputation's phenomenal. And I need to get it open and rocking pretty quick because I got a use for it. But I need the space. So I got some housekeeping I have to do, some shelves and things to move some things around to get ready for all this. And then also, I need to finish this candy bar before we open another one. Otherwise, it ends up being a mountain of cardboard and stuff. But whole bunch of Hidden Forms Lab stuff in the back, just calling our name. So that should be something fun. We can, all their products have been unboxed before, so we're not going to go through each little piece, but we can unbox it together, kind of crude and rude style. Just rip it open and see what we got and kind of first impressions, and then maybe do a follow-up video on, once we kind of get it running, rocking and rolling. So, yeah. So we do have one resin printer, which is, it's a high build, it's a large prints comparatively to other, at least consumer desktop products. So we kind of wanted to go prosumer this way a little bit more, kind of step into that. We do a lot of prototyping and design work. So our Anycubic, we have a M3 Max, and it's pretty good, but still trying to learn that side of some of the resins. So it felt a little bit like my first experience with some of the 3D printers, where I'm fumbling through some things that have been innovated away. So I've learned how to do the resin now, but kind of going to upgrade quicker, unlike I did with the 3D printers, the filament printers. So you're gonna have to wait and see which one it is. They make a lot of stuff, man. But yeah, I guess I might have let some hints slip out there, but we got something cool back there from Form Labs, and it's going to expand our current abilities for sure. I'll say that. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. We'll be back with another super exciting part 3 and 4 sometime soon.